Hello, everybody. This is Jean Pow Barabajagal, and I wanted to share my new musical purchase. I got a bass guitar and a bass amp recently, so thought I'd show it to you. Um, Before I do, I had meant to get a bass a while ago, and then I kind of got distracted into getting several guitars. I got a Harley Benton 12 string that looks like a Rickenbacker 12 string. And I got a Guild S200 T-Bird, which is a reissue of a mid-60s guitar. Both of them are awesome. I'm so glad I got those. So I've kind of gone crazy watching YouTube videos and reading books and online information about other guitars and basses and things like that. So I'm just in this total shopping mode. But originally, one of the first basses I was looking at was a Gretsch. I think the number is G 2220 Junior Jet. And Junior Jet 2, I think Junior Jet 2, because it has 2 pickups on it. And I'd seen some reviews. It's a really inexpensive bass. It's supposed to be a really good bass for being inexpensive. It's Gretsch, which I think is a cool brand. I'm interested in a lot of their other guitars. They were mainly famous initially for being like a classic rockabilly guitar, a big hollow body, F-hole, like something like Brian Setzer is really famous for using Gretches because he idolized, Eddie Cochran and Gene Vincent and, those people, and the Blue Caps had them, and, it was kind of like the classic 50s rockabilly guitar, and it has a certain sound to it. It's kind of a chimier sound than, say, a Gibson. But then when the 60s came around, George Harrison started off mainly with a Gretsch country gentleman type guitar, and so similar, big hollow body with F-holes, and then they were kind of, if the Beatles have them, lots of people are going to be using them. The Monkees used Gretches to Michael Nesmith, and it also became very much a country music guitar as far as classic 50s type country. So they were very shiny and glitzy and cool looking. On Who's Next, that's the guitar that Joe Walsh gave Pete Townsend, and he used it on the studio tracks for Who's Next. He didn't tend to use it live, but it was a big orange Gretsch. So me being a big Who fan, especially, and plus the Beatles connection and, other 60s bands, I kind of wanted to get a Gretsch with Filtertrons. I went to Guitar Center, and there was one there that was marked down $180 on sale. Off on sale. So I put it on layaway, and I paid $300 onto it over the course of about a month and a half. But then the other day I decided I should just take it off layaway and take that money back and just get, a bass like I had originally tried to, and worry about getting a guitar later, because with these Gretsch reissues that are out right now, Fender now owns Gretsch, and it's just, there's a myriad of them. They're in every Guitar Center. Buying them new to me kind of seemed like a waste of money, because probably in about a year or two, all these Electric-Matic series, which are the ones I'm interested in, are probably going to be about half that price used if I just start looking for a decent used instrument. So I think now's not the time for me to go get a Gretsch guitar. But the bass is so cheap it kind of doesn't matter. So I went ahead and got this. If you can see it, this is my Gretsch Junior Jet bass. There's the headstock. See, it's an Electromatic series. And it's a short scale bass, so it's really guitar size practically, just a little longer at about 30 inches. The normal basses are more like about 34 inches. And I'm really kind of interested in all these short scales that are becoming popular right now because it's just easier for me to deal with rather than a big, massive instrument. But it's supposed to be pretty high quality, considering for, you know, how cheap it is. This is a bass that runs $2.99. Here's the knobs. There's a volume and a tone. I don't know how well you're going to see it. There you go. And then a switch between the two pickups. And this color is reflecting, but the color I got is called Imperial Stain. Wow, really reflecting. So there's Walnut Stain and Imperial Stain, and Imperial Stain is a much deeper brown, whereas the Walnut Stain is more of a red brown. There's also about 6 other colors, including a green, a shell pink, of course a black, tobacco burst, Bristol fog, which is kind of a brownish burst with black edges, and I think a couple others. So I just thought this was the coolest one. They did 4 colors and then they did 4 new colors, and I'm not that much of into the pink basses, so I wanted a nice wood tone. Yeah, so I got this bass, and I also got a new guitar stand for it, which is, let's see if we can see it. It's over here. Yeah, there it is. It's unusual in that it's called a Hercules stand. So let me take this off. When you put a guitar on it, it clamps the guitar, and the body of the guitar isn't resting on any arms. It's just being held kind of by the neck. And that's nice if you have a guitar that's kind of a weird shape, where it has an offset bottom or something. It's not going to rest evenly on a stand. Let me pull this unplug here for a minute. So let's see. Put it on there. Okay, what I was going to show you about this Hercules stand. See, if I lift it up and then I set it down, just the weight of it causes it to clamp and hold the guitar, which I think is pretty cool. See, can you see it this way? Yeah, it's just being held by a neck. It's kind of like a tripod where you can raise and lower that. I'm actually about to get another guitar, and I will really need that stand for that one, and we'll do a video on that when it arrives next week. Then I think I'm done with getting the guitars for a while, at least. There's a few others I'd like to get, but I think I'm pretty happy with all these things I've gotten. I got a bass amp as well. My bass amp here is a 30-watt practice amp, of course, an Ampeg Rocket Bass 108. So it's got an 8-inch speaker and 30 watts of power, which for basses is really wimpy, but it's nice. I'm really happy with this amp, and it was pretty cheap, $180 about. So yeah, I have that, and then my other amp, which I think I talked about but didn't show anybody, is this little Fender Champion amp. It's 40 watts. It was also pretty affordable. I think it was $119. So, excuse me, I'm pretty set up right now, and I'm ready to actually take lessons when I get all the time in the world to. Probably not till winter, because the way it works out with me is I'm really busy during the summer tending gardens and things like that, and then in the winter I kind of have more spare time being indoors, and that's when I tend to really mess around with my instruments and try and get better at them. But I like this bass. It's pretty cool. I'd love to have a hollow body as well, but I'd want to get a smaller hollow body. I was looking at like a Hofner Beetle bass originally. I don't think I'm going to get that. I think I'd really like to get like a Guild M85, or I like the Guild Starfire, but it's kind of big. There's also a brand called Italia that I'm really interested in, and they make a smaller hollow body bass that's kind of the Les Paul shape like this one, that I think is tempting. I have to see a little more. I'd like to see it in person, but anyway, so that's my instrument update. Next week you will see this new guitar I'm gonna get. Pretty excited about that one too. And then I'll have way too many guitars. Well, take care everyone. Have a good day.